we're going to start in a supported fish, which looks like this. So one hits just below the shoulder blades, opening the chest up, and the other block is there to support your head. Legs are extended long, or the soles of the feet can be together with the knees open. Just checking with your lower back. If the medium head on the block is creating too much tension, bring it down to the lowest. Or, again, this is, if fish is really not jiving with your body today, come all the way down to your mat and start in corpse pose. I'd like you to bring your palms up as you settle into your breath. Sometimes finding your version of supported fish takes a little adjustment of the blocks, but then allow yourself to settle and connect with your breath. Palms are open, heart is open, mind is open, and connect with your breath. The stone I pulled this morning says laugh. And we're living in a world right now that is filled with animosity and stress and injustice. And I'm not saying that those aren't important things for us to be focusing on. However, for this hour, I really want you to stay present. And I want you to recognize the importance of laughter. Because I think that there hasn't been enough of it lately. And laughter can come in the simplest of forms. For me, just a few moments ago when I braided my hair, thought I did a good job. I walked out of the bathroom and I felt something tickling my shoulder. And sure enough, it's that strand of hair or that clump of hair that I missed. And I laughed because I know what my daughter would say to me. So despite what's happening around us in our daily lives, recognize that it's okay to find joy and to laugh. Without feeling any sort of guilt that you're feeling happiness. And recognize the quality of the air in the room that you're practicing in. And recognize the quality of your breath. Have you allowed your breath to settle? To become a little bit deeper? And before we begin movement, take a scan of your body. Where are you holding stress? Where are you holding discomfort? Do you feel soreness or stiffness in a particular place? You're welcome. I won't apologize because you showed up to take care of yourself. Stay here for 2 or 3 more cycles of breath. Before we gently press our forearms down, maybe bend the knees. However you can comfortably and safely bring yourself up off the blocks and out of your supported fish. And then take those blocks and move them off to the side. Cross the legs and make your way up to a neutral tabletop. Spread those fingers wide, middle finger to the front edge of your mat, thumbs pressing in towards each other. Find that neutral spine. And again, we've been talking about this all week. Spiral those elbow creases forward, pulling the shoulders down and back. This is your neutral tabletop. From here on an inhale, drop the belly and bring the gaze forward. And on an exhale, round through the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Going with your breath, but continuing to press away from the floor and continuing to spiral those elbow creases forward. 3 more cycles through at your pace. One more time through. Pause in that neutral tabletop. Pressing away from the floor. Send that right foot back and press into the foot and rock it forward and back. Forward under the toes, press back into the heel. Again, forward and back. Inhale forward. On this exhale back, hold. Stretch through that calf. So get a slight angle now in the arms and not stack directly over those wrists as you push back into that right heel. And inhale, pull the knee back to center. Send that left foot back, curl the left toes, and flow forward and back. Waking up the angle, working out some of the creaks and cracks. Inhale forward, exhale back, connect your breath. And on the next exhale back, hold. So again, we've got that slight angle, but my elbow creases are forward. And I'm pulling my shoulders out of my ears. And exhale, that knee back down. Take the knees out as wide as you comfortably can. And press your hips back. And walk your hands forward. And drop your chest down to a nice extended child's pose. Recognize the sensations in your hips. Where you feel in tightness. Allow yourself to surrender. We're going to let the hips open a little bit by staying in this extended child's pose for 4 or 5 cycles of breath. Release the chest down. Release the hips back. Inhale back up. Stack the knees under the hips. Curl the toes. Walk yourself back. Reach back. Spread those toes out so that the weight is going from the big toe all the way out to the baby toe. And bring your hands to heart center. If this is too much, you can uncurl the toes. You can always pull a block and sit back on the block to help take some of the pressure off the toes. Within your practice to angle slightly back, taking a little bit more weight onto those toes, taking the stretch a little bit more intense. Your body, you listen. We're here for 4 and 3, 2, 1. Release back to that neutral tabletop. Uncurl the toes, press into the hands, and send that left foot to the back edge of your mat. Foot is flexed. Leg is hip height, knee is pointing down, toe is pointing down. And then extend the right arm long in front of you. There's a little bit of balance for the morning. Keep your gaze neutral. We're not tucking our chin, but we're not hyperextending through the neck. Crown of your head is reaching forward like your fingertips. 2 more cycles of breath here. And then release that right hand down. Take the left foot and bring it across the right side of the body. Root the toes and press the heel away. Taking a twist through the body and a stretch through the leg. If it's within your practice, walk your hands slightly over to the right, taking the twist a little bit deeper. Press into the ball of the foot, push the heel away. Feel the sensations in your foot, in your calf, right through that whole left side of your body. If you walked your hands to the right, bring them back to center. Extend that leg long behind you, and then pull it back down to center. On an inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze forward to cow. And on an exhale, round the spine to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And find your neutral spine. Send that right foot to the back side of your mat. Press the heel away from you, knee and toe pointing down, leg is hip height. And when you're ready, extend the opposite arm long. Crown of the head is following the fingertips. Keep your belly engaged. Keep that foot flexed and the fingers reaching long in front of you. One more inhale, and on your exhale, bring the hand back down, and then take that right leg across the body, planting the foot, the ball of the foot, pressing the heel away. Bring your gaze over that left shoulder. Again, if it's within your practice, you want to take the stretch a little bit deeper, walk your hands slightly over to the left. Continuing to push to the ball of the foot. Push the heel away, feeling a stretch through the ankles, releasing the fascia in the bottom of the foot. Two more cycles of breath here. Press that heel away. One more cycle of breath. Walk your hands back to center. Release the leg back to center. and drop the knee. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze comes forward, cow. Exhale, round through the spine, cat. Again, drop the belly, gaze comes forward. Tuck the chin, round the spine, cat. And come to a neutral spine. Walk the knees and the toes together, and then walk them slightly back. Walk the hands slightly forward. We're coming into puppy. So in child's pose, we would be sitting our hips back on our heels. In puppy pose, our hips stay stacked over the knees, and we work to drop the chest down and extend the arms long. Get a nice stretch through the shoulders. Again, then you have to walk the knees slightly back to make any sort of adjustments. You want your hips over your knees, your bum pushing up towards the sky like it would in downward facing dog. And your arms extended long. I'm going to stay here for a little bit, so settle in. You always have the option to bring a block to rest your forehead. If coming all the way down to the floor is too intense, use those blocks. They make life more accessible. Really feeling a stretch through the upper back, through those shoulder blades. Each inhale and exhale, try to find a little bit more length and allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper. We have 2 more cycles of breath. Slowly come out of this by bringing your gaze forward, bringing your chest up, and slowly walking your hands back to center. Keeping the knees stacked where they were. Root that left hand, extend the right up towards the sky, and on the exhale, twist it under and thread the needle. So the right shoulder is down, the right ear is down. The hips are still up towards the sky. Option to extend that left arm long in front. To continue to stretch the shoulders. Just there a spider on my window. I don't like spiders. Or option to take that left hand and wrap it around the back. Option to take this into a little bit more of a challenging posture by adding in some balance. So extend that left leg out behind you, pressing into the ball of the foot, and then bring it up to hover. Knee and toe pointing down towards the floor. You take out of this what feels right. You just want the stretch through the chest and the shoulder. You don't want the balance. Keep the knees stacked right underneath your hips. We're here for 4 and 3, 2, 1. Release the knee if the leg was up. Unwrap the arm if it was wrapped behind. If it was extended long in front of you, pull it back underneath the shoulder. Press into the palm. Extend that right wing up towards the sky. Twist through the spine and release down to the floor. Again, 2 rounds of cat and cow. Drop the belly, bring the gaze forward. On an exhale, round up through the spine. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And find your neutral spine. Shift the weight into that right palm. Slide that left wing up, open the chest, stretch that lower back, and then thread the needle under. Left shoulder comes down. Left ear is down on the mat. And find what you need in this posture. I do recommend whatever you did on one side, you stick with on the second. You can wrap that arm around. You can send that right foot back, keeping the toe rooted on the floor. Or you can bring it up, finding balance. And if you chose to find balance, but balance didn't choose to find you and you fall, laugh. We're here for 4 and 3, 2, and 1. If you have the leg extended long, pull it in, stack the knee. Release the arm. Pull it right underneath that right shoulder. Plant the palm and open up through that left wing one more time. And release it down. Cat and cow. Drop the belly, gaze comes forward. Spiral those elbow creases forward. Exhale, cat. Inhale. And exhale. And find your neutral tabletop. We're going to take a low lunge stretch. So grab your blocks and bring them to the front edge of your mat. Shift the weight into the left knee and step the right foot forward. And use your blocks and make any adjustments because we're going to be settling in. So the right knee is over the right ankle. The blocks are here. Maybe put your fists on them. Rest your palms. If you have any wrist problems, sometimes pressing into the palms, you do a lot of plank work, a lot of push-ups, create some tension in the wrist. So a great option to keep the wrist neutral is to make a fist and to press into the knuckles instead of the hand. But we're going to settle in. We're going to sink a little bit low. We're going to keep the shoulders stacked. And we're just going to hold. I want you to check in with your foot right now. Are you shifting the weight to the outer edge of the foot or all the way to the inner edge of the foot? Balance it out. Even pressure across all points of the foot. Chin is parallel to the floor, gaze is forward. If you're finding that this is bothering your knee at all, you can always take your mat and pat it, like fold it in. So you've doubled up on the mat, giving yourself a little bit more cushioning. Depending on the thickness of your mat. And here for about 5 more cycles of breath. Really let the hip flexors open. Pull shoulders down and back. And think about those elbow creases, allowing those shoulders to drop down. 2 more cycles of breath. Really be feeling this through the front of that left leg, through the glute and the hamstring, on the forward leg. We're going to transition gently back. So start to walk the blocks back with you. So your options are to stay with the hip stacked over the knee and the blocks in front of you and just hinge forward. Or I like to take it all the way back and sit on the heel, flex the extended foot, and then hinge forward. So again, the blocks are here. To rest your arms, you might take one and rest your forehead. And in a deeper stretch yoga class, it's about allowing yourself to surrender. So about letting gravity take over. So use the props to help you comfortably settle into whatever version of this posture that is accessible to you right now. If you sat all the way back down like I did, think about relaxing and settling back, but keeping that extended leg flexed. And you maybe invite the crown of your head towards the toe. Try to keep your hips square. You don't want to rock off towards one side or the other. Bum is pushing back or up. Foot is forward. I'm going to stay here for about 4 more cycles of breath. Allow everything to release. 2 more cycles of breath. Fully surrender. 1 more cycle of breath. Before you bring your gaze forward, we're going to come out of this slowly. So shift the weight forward. Walk those blocks to the top edge of your mat and pull that right foot back. When you're ready, we're going to step the left forward. So we're going to go to the other side. So again, you can fold that mat in to give yourself a little bit more cushion under the knee. Uncurl the back foot. Keep the knee directly in line with the ankle. And sink into it. Keep the shoulders down and back. Leading forward with the chest. Crown of your head towards the sky. Chin parallel to the floor. So here, it's not about reaching down towards the floor. That's why we have the blocks. If for some reason you don't have blocks, you can keep your hands resting right up on your knee. It's not about hinging and reaching the floor this time. It's about stretching through the hamstring, stretching through the front of the leg, opening up the hips, but keeping your chest proud. Letting your light shine forward. Again, I always encourage you to close your eyes. Feel the sensations of your body. Make sure all points of that front foot are making contact with the floor. And breathe. No holding your breath here. Really feeling everything release. It's a very intense stretch. Very beneficial after yesterday. Find your thoughts wandering, bring them back to your practice. Stay present in this moment. It's the only moment you're ever guaranteed. Two more cycles of breath here. One more cycle of breath here. Before we slowly start to release it. And I will uncurl my mat, but you don't have to if you had curls. So again, your options are to flex that front foot, keep the hips stacked high, and drop the chest forward. Again, using those blocks however you need to. Or sitting all the way back, squaring the hips, keeping that front foot flexed, and then hinging forward. And finding stillness. This is a real deep stretch into that hamstring, especially if you're flexing the foot, which I encourage you to do because it helps protect the knee. Think about sinking your weight back into your heel if you're sitting all the way back, as you hinge forward. You'll feel that hamstring engage real fast. And again, when we hold these poses for longer periods of time, you don't have to stay where you landed. Make adjustments that allow you to settle without fidgeting, because stillness is hard. And again, if you find your thoughts wandering, bring it back to your breath and bring your breath to the hamstring and allow it to release. We're there for about 3 more cycles of breath. More cycles. One more cycle. And then we're going to start to gently make our way out of it. Slow. Okay. All slowly. Pull that left foot back. And then make your way to sitting. I'm going to go on the long edge of my mat as we're coming to a seated wide leg forward fold. So it doesn't matter how wide your legs are able to come apart. Move that fleshy part of the bum away so that your sits bone can root. If this is bothersome at all, you can always have a towel or a pillow to cushion your bum. When we hinge forward, your legs are naturally going to want to fall forward. I don't necessarily think that you need to actively pull them back, but try to keep them neutral. Try to keep the knees up and the toes up versus letting them fall forward. And just settle into this wide leg seat and find length through your spine. Chin parallel to the floor, shoulders down and back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Root the tailbone. One more time. Inhale. And on this exhale, we're going to start to walk it forward. You won't go far before you'll feel that active engagement happen. Great place for a block, or 2, or 4, because this is a bugger sometimes. So as you hinge forward, you might want to rest your forearms on the blocks, inviting the crown of your head forward. Depending on how flexible you are, you might be able to fold all the way forward. I can usually get there eventually, but I've got to hold this one for a long time before everything allows itself to release. This is one of those postures where you want to let gravity take over as you connect with your breath. Continue to pull out of your waist, hinging forward. You might take a block if it's accessible and rest your forehead on it. You might not get anywhere close. Okay. We're holding this one for a little bit. Again, the longer you hold, hopefully the more you can surrender. But again, be mindful that as you're surrendering, you're not rolling the feet and the knees inward. Take the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to hold this for about 4 more cycles of breath. Allow yourself to surrender. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more cycle of breath. And then slowly walk yourself all the way back up to sitting. We're going to start to move from side to side. So slide the right arm down towards the right ankle. And inhale up to center. Exhale, slide to the left. And back up to center. Flow with your breath from side to side. Keeping the tailbone rooted. Don't collapse the chest. Don't round the shoulders. Next time through center, we're going to stop on the right side or the left. It really doesn't matter, wherever side you're at. And reach. So your goal is to try to keep the forearm on the outside of the leg, not the inside. On the outside. And then we're going to spiral the chest up and open. Again, you might not come close. Great place to put a block right up here. Keep yourself nice and high. More important that you spiral that chest open and you extend that arm long than it is to reach the floor. There for 4 and 3. 2, the crown of your head is reaching towards that foot. 1, we're going to take that hand that's extended long. We're going to twist our torso towards that right foot, and we're going to fold over. Again, use your blocks. Rest your forearms. Maybe take it on top of the leg. And rest your forehead. Or let things just surrender. Here for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Release it up. And then flow over to the opposite side. Settle before you extend. So listen to your body. Spiral that chest upward. Extend that arm long. Stretch through the side body. Pull that shoulder back. Gaze can stay neutral or can come upward. The crown of your head is extending off towards that foot. So you're pulling out of your waist. We're here for 4 and 3 and 2, 1. Come up, rotate the torso towards that foot and hinge down. Let your arms fall wherever they want to land. Surrender down. Here for 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Release it up. Pull those feet together. Make your way to a neutral tabletop. I go through a couple of vinyasas. Just to loosen up that spine, so curl the toes. Come up to your bear crawl, and then float the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Legs should feel a little bit longer than they did at the beginning of class, even though this is our first down dog. Can you sink your heels down towards the floor? Sink those heels, stretch through those hamstrings. Open up the shoulders by spiraling the elbows back, the creases forward. Walk those feet forward about a foot. Sink back into the heels. The floor is not accessible right now with flat feet. Use a block or bring your hands in towards the shins. We're going to engage the core, and we're going to reverse swan dive all the way up. We're going to exhale and bring our hands to our center. And grab your strap. That shoulder work. Take it in the right hand, drop it down over the right shoulder. Elbow is in tight to the ear, pointing up towards the sky. Hand is reaching down towards the center of my back. I'm going to take that left hand and I'm going to reach back. And I'm going to try to work my hands as close together as I can. Again, if you don't need the strap and you are flexible enough to clasp your hands together behind your back, awesome. Go for it. Left elbow is pointing down, right elbow is pointing up. I'm not twisting one way or the other. I'm not rotating one way or the other. Standing nice and tall. Elbow up, elbow down, chin parallel to the floor. Close your eyes. Send your breath to that left shoulder. Right down the left bicep. Go through the top of the shoulder blade. That rotator cuff. Discomfort here is okay. It's a very uncomfortable posture. If it's painful, you need to stop. Soften your grip a little bit. Breathe into it. Think about standing in mountain pose. Feet are rooted, tailbone is tucked, crown of the head is extended long. We're here for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Take the left hand down. Bring the right hand down. Take that left shoulder slow. Big circles. Really let it release. It's a very intense stretch. 2 big circles in one direction. Doesn't matter which direction you started. But after 2, bring it to the opposite direction. Bring the blood flow back. Nice job. Then take that strap into the left hand and bring it behind you. The strap, the tie, a belt, whatever it is you have. Elbow comes up tall. Tricep is pointing forward. Take that right hand, wrap it around the back. Grab the strap. Work your hands together first, as close as you can, and then think about checking in with the form. So walk your hands to where you're comfortable. Then keep the elbow in tight, pointing up. Square the hips, tuck the tailbone. Find mountain pose. Chin is neutral. Crown is lifted.
Feet are planted. Close your eyes. Breathe. Remembering that discomfort is okay. If at any point you feel like it's released enough and you can walk your hands a little closer together, give it a whirl. If it becomes painful, soften. Breathe through it. Breathe in for 4 and 3 and 2, 1. Release that right hand first. Take that strap down. Again, 2 big circles in one direction. Letting the shoulder release. The first one is the worst. Each subsequent one feels a little bit looser. 2 in one direction, 2 in the other direction. And then take that strap in both hands. Take the right foot, bring the right knee up and put the strap under the ball of the right foot. And walk your hands together on the strap and pull the knee up and find balance right here. So root that left foot, stay right here, or if it's within your practice, extend the leg long. Finding balance. Again, you might use a wall to find your balance, or a bureau, or a kitchen counter. The idea of the strap is that you don't have to reach for your foot. So my shoulders are stacked over my hips as I'm pushing the ball of the foot forward, finding balance while I stretch. We're here for 4 and 3 and 2, 1. Bend the knee, drop the foot and release the strap. Shake out the standing foot before you put that strap underneath the ball of that foot and pull the knee up. Find your balance. This might be as far as you go. If you don't have a strap, you can always just reach the hands around the knee and hold here, finding balance. When you're ready, which you don't seem to be ready, so I'm going to use the wall. This is what it looks like from the side, right? I'm holding onto the wall. I'm walking my hands down on the strap as much as I can, but keeping my shoulders stacked, pushing the foot away, finding that stretch while I find balance. Or not. Sometimes balance just is not your friend, depending on the day, what you've had to eat or drink. We're here for 4 and 3 and 2, 1. Bend and release. Walk it off. Each time, one more time on each side. We're going to externally rotate. Again, if you feel like you might need support, turn so that the left side is facing a wall or a counter and put the strap under the right foot. And then pull that right knee up. And maybe hold the strap with one hand and gently let the hand rest against a chair, a counter. You might not need it. And then extend long. Find length. Root that standing leg, a micro bend in the knee. From here, you're going to rotate the foot out towards the side. Hands can stay on the hip for balance. Hand can extend out to the side for balance. Hips and shoulders are forward, but the foot rotated out to the right. Foot is still pressing away, so my foot's flexed, stretching through the calf and that hamstring, but working on strength and balance. Inhale the back in front, bend, and release. I didn't use the wall, but it was accessible to me as I needed it. We're going to switch sides. One more time to the left. You're going to root the right. And if you don't need to come up through the bent knee, and you can extend the right arm long, go for it. Press the heel forward and away. Pull the toes inward. And find balance. Hand on hip, arm extended long, or holding on to something. When you're ready, take that foot out towards the side. Find a focal point that is not moving. That's Jidrisi. And if you fall, laugh. And get back up. 3, 2, 1. Extend center. And then release. And then take your legs wide. Take the strap wide. Take your feet out. Pinch and toe. Your heels out, toes inward. Take the strap so that it's as wide as your ankles. You're going to inhale it up. Exhale, pull it back. Let your leg shine forward. And then hinge forward. Finding that flat back, dropping your gaze down, but keeping those arms extended behind you. Getting that stretch through the shoulder blades. The wider the strap, the easier it is. We're here for 4, and 3, and 2. Release the crown of your head down to the floor. Release the arms down. Drop the strap and reach for the ankles or the shins. Wherever it's accessible to you, drop the crown of your head down, pull the elbows outward. Wide leg forward, hold. Release the feet, release the hands. Shift over to the right, come up onto the right toes. Keep the sole of the left foot on the floor, stretch through the inner thigh. If it's within your range of motion, come up to balance or rest your hands on the block. Continuing to push into that inner thigh by pressing away with the outside edge of the foot. And you bring your hands to heart center. Tuck the tailbone. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release through center. You want to take the block of the travel with you to the opposite side. Bend into the left. Come up onto the left toes. Keep the bottom of that right foot down on the floor. Touch the tailbone. And find length. Again, stretching through that inner thigh. So press the outside of the foot, outside of the leg, down and away. Find a focal point. 3, 2, 1. Release the hands. Come back to center. Heel toe the feet together till they're about, I don't know, wherever you need them. I'm not going to give you a point of reference, but drop down into your Malasana, your yogi squat. Sitting on a block or not. I don't want to tell you your feet need to be 2 feet apart or 6 inches apart because everybody's range of motion is different. Drop your heels, press your elbows against your knees, open up the hips, bring your gaze forward. We're here for 4, and 3, 2, 1. Release one hand in front, one hand in back, and make your way down to your mat. Move everything out of your way. And come to laying. And when you make your way down to laying, pull your feet in towards your bum. Let your lower back rest. Let your shoulder blades settle. Root that left foot and then pull the right knee in towards the chest. Flex that right foot. Pull the right knee out towards the right armpit and back to center. Again, out to the right, back to center, out to the right, back to center, and then we're going to come to half happy baby. So you're going to extend that foot up, you're going to reach for the outside of the foot. You're going to keep your elbow to the inside of the knee, allowing the knee to drop down into the armpit. The left leg, the knee can just drop outward. Half happy baby. Left arm can rest wherever it's comfortable. Close your eyes. Three more cycles of breath. One more cycle. We release that right foot down. Pull the left knee in. Interlace the hands just below the left knee. Flex the left foot. And connecting with your breath, pull that knee outward and back into center. Shoulders stay rooted. Lower back stays rooted. A couple more times out to the left and back into center. And when you're ready, if happy baby is accessible on this side, reach for the outside of the foot. Pull the knee down towards the armpit. Kick the heel up and let that right knee just knock out towards the right side. Right arm rests wherever it falls, whatever's comfortable. So the left knee is pulling down, the left heel is kicking up. Two more cycles of breath. On the next cycle, release with control and extend the legs long, making your way into corpse pose. So make any adjustments, allow yourself to surrender. Yogi's choice if you want your arms in close to your body or maybe slightly feet outward. I always choose palms facing up to receive the energy of the room, the energy that the universe is willing to share with me. When we share a practice in the same space, we can share our energy. Settle in. Take these last few moments to let your body integrate everything that you've asked of it this morning. breath. Rooting yourself down to the earth. You'd like to stay in Savasana longer if you have time. I always encourage it. And for the sake of time, bring your awareness back to your space, to your mat, to your physical body. Begin to make small movements, waken the body back up, fingers and toes. And when you're ready, extend those arms long overhead. And again, when you're ready, make your way off to your right side. And then gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat on your mat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bow your chin towards your chest. Bring those palms together overhead to your third eye chakra, your forehead. May your thoughts be filled with laughter and joy. Drop your hands down towards your lips and pause. May your words be filled with laughter and joy. And making your way down to your heart center. May your heart be filled with laughter and joy. Namaste. Come over